everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm so excited to share with you guys the brand new reformulated liquid matte lipsticks by Huda Beauty. I've got 8 to share with you guys. Yes, that's 8. I've got 4 brand new shades and I've got 4 original shades. And the original ones, the reason I bought them is because they were actually some of my favorites from the original line. And obviously that meant that if these were supposedly even better than the originals, why wouldn't I then go and purchase my favorite ones again? Now, first off, I had no issues with the original liquid lipsticks. So who complained? Who moaned? I've always thought that these liquid lipsticks are one of the best on the market. If you guys have followed me for a while, you will know that I don't know how many favorites videos, there's always Huda Beauty's trophy wife in there or Huda Beauty's icon liquid lipstick. There's always a Huda Beauty lipstick. If it's not cheerleader, it's heartbreaker. I absolutely love them. I love the quality, and I would hands down always say they were one of my favorite higher end liquid lipstick brands on the market in terms of their durability, the wearability, the color range, their comfort levels, their opacity, etc, etc. I actually had no real issues with them at all. So apparently there were people that did, and obviously Huda, being as Huda is, she likes to listen to her consumers, which not a lot of brands tend to do, and she will often reformulate things. Now, the liquid lipsticks were one of the first makeup items that launched when Huda Beauty launched her brand, and I can't remember when it was, 5, maybe 6 years ago now. You guys, right? Some of the liquid lipsticks that I've got are still from that original video I did back then. Now, that's not because I don't use lipsticks all the time. It's because I'm a YouTuber and I own so many, so it can take me a good long while to actually get through them. Now, they are still in perfect condition. They don't smell. They haven't gone off. The quality's not changed. They're still absolutely excellent. How many brands do you know out there that have liquid lipsticks that can last up to 5 to 6 years? So let's see what she has said, what these new liquid lipsticks claim to do. 1 swipe application, 8-hour wear, ultra comfortable, vegan formula, transfer proof, streak proof, smudge proof. It's also infused with LOVE complexion, in brackets that means lycopene, olive oil, vitamin A and E, essential fatty acids. It says that this is our thinnest formula yet, not that it needed to be, with nearly no stickiness. Nearly no stickiness is not no stickiness, bear in mind. 16 versatile shades, 8 original shades and 8 new shades. FSC certified and recyclable cotton. Anyway, so let me just quickly share with you guys what I bought, and then I'm going to go straight into lip swatches before I go into my review, because I know that people are so impatient. You chat too much, Charlene. Well, it's a review, babe. So I've got the shade Famous, and Famous is from the original line. I've got Drama Mama. I've got Miss America. I've got Slaytina. I've got Icon, which is one of the originals. I've got Trophy Wife, which is one of the originals and what I'm wearing right now. I've got Baby Doll, which is a new shade. And then I've got Trendsetter, which is one of the original shades. 8 lip swatches. Hope you guys enjoyed. What is your favourite? Mine is obviously still going to be Trophy Wife because it's always been my fave. Trophy Wife as well as Icon. So let's get into the review. Are these better than the originals? I found some of them to be thinner in texture and others not so much. And I do have to say that, for example, the shade Famous. Now, Famous is a shade that I've always loved. It's a very deep burgundy red. It goes with all skin tones. But one thing I did find with the original is that it was a little bit too thick and it would turn into bits and pieces. Then there was also streakiness with it because of the fact that it was such a deep shade. I would have to even it out, and that would mean a lot of manipulation. Now, I didn't find that as much with this one, but it was still a little bit there. However, I did find that this wore a lot better on the lips. It lasted a lot longer than it normally did. Because it is a very deep shade, it starts to wear off from the inside out first off. And it's a little bit obvious because of the fact that it's such a deep shade, and obviously the inside of my lips is pink, so you could see a lot of pink that was peeking out. However, all it takes is a little bit of a touch up around the edges and in the middle, and it is perfectly fine. Some liquid lipsticks out there can be very, very drying on the lips, and one of the reasons why I've always liked this is because it's not drying, it's very comfortable. My mouth doesn't feel restricted, my lips don't feel restricted in the way that they move. I can talk and enunciate properly without any kind of interference from my lipstick. Now, this shade here, Slaytina, even though this is a bright orange, is still a wearable bright orange. This one I do find applies a lot better on the lips. However, I do still find it slightly streaky, and I can also see my natural lip color through it. Now, because my top lip is darker than my bottom lip, I could very easily see that my top lip looked darker despite the fact that I had this lipstick on. Then what ends up happening is that you end up layering it, and then the more you layer and then the more you layer, you can make it get uncomfortable. You can layer these, but I would only say maybe layer them twice as a maximum. Any more than that, it's just too many layers of product on your lips that can then start to bunch up as it dries, and then it will start to crack and flake throughout the day as well. So this one is okay. It's not awful, and obviously everybody's experience will be very different depending on what their natural lip color is. Now, in terms of the shades that I know and love, so Trophy Wife, for example, I found absolutely no difference between this Trophy Wife and the one that I already have. It feels exactly the same. The liquidity, if that's a word, felt exactly the same. The texture felt exactly the same. There was not that much difference. And in terms of it 8-hour wear, I've always found Huda Beauty's liquid lipsticks to last me between 8 to 12 hours. So even though they've got the 8-hour claim, I think it depends on what kind of lipstick you're wearing and how deep the shade is. And even though this isn't a deep shade, this is still a mid-deep shade, I would say, it will still last me throughout the evening. I found the same with Icon liquid lipstick as well. I found that it performed exactly the same. I couldn't detect much of a difference at all in terms of texture. And in terms of the way that it's supposed to be apparently more liquid, I couldn't really tell. But remember, I had no issues with how thick the texture was to begin with. I actually thought it was the perfect mix between thick and thin. It was a nice medium in the middle. The lighter shades. Now, I've always been hesitant when it comes to lighter shades, when it comes to liquid lipsticks. If you guys have watched any of my liquid lipsticks videos in the past, you will know that I have always said when it comes to very, very light shades, there's not a lot of brands that know how to do it properly. The problem is that the thinner it is in texture, the more likely it is to settle within the lines of your lips. When you apply this initially, and I'm talking about the shade Baby Doll as well as Trendsetter, initially it looks lovely, it looks great, it looks beautiful, it looks gorgeous. Then it dries, and when it dries, it goes and sits within all the lines of my lips. Obviously, I've been testing these out and reviewing them throughout the past couple of days. I was at work, went to the loo, caught sight of myself in the mirror, and I was like, all these lines in my lips where the product has collected and dried. It looked awful. It makes me look aged. So I thought, okay, let me layer it one more time. Maybe if I make it a little bit thicker, that will fill in those lines. It made absolutely no difference. If anything, it made it worse. The lines collected again, but doubly so because I now had double the amount of product on my lips. It started to crack throughout the day, move throughout the day. It looked absolutely awful. By the end of the working day, I had rubbed most of it off because it just looked horrible. Now that's not a criticism in terms of this new reformulation. I have always found that with the lighter shades of Huda Beauty's liquid lipstick. So does Trendsetter. However, because Trendsetter is quite a pale nude shade, it's not as noticeable as something which is a pink, purely because this is closer to my natural lip tone than this one is. So that's the reason why I was happy to buy this. But I also found that this one is still streaky. So when I'm applying it, it's streaking about, looks streaky. Then I have to go over it again and go over it again. And bear in mind, I'm not dipping it back into the tube itself. I'm just moving the same product around before it gets the chance to dry, just to try and even it out. Once I finally got it even and then it's dried down, lo and behold, the cracks in the lines start to appear and it just does not look great. I absolutely love the liquid lipsticks. Don't get me wrong, I love the shade Famous, Drama Queen, what a great brownie shade. I am going to compare it to Spice Girl. I have got a lot of my original lipsticks that I'm going to swatch for you guys just so that you can see, in case you're interested in terms of comparison. I actually wish that she would have kept that shade because it's such a stunning brown shade that works for all skin tones, but it's not too deep, yet it's not too light either. The shade Miss America is a gorgeous bright red. However, you would have seen yourself on me, on my lips, it leans more as like an orangey red. And this is the only real red in the collection. I mean, Famous is red, but it's still a deep burgundy red. I loved Cheerleader. I loved Heartbreaker. Those two were one of my top favorite red liquid lipsticks that I had in my collection. And I'm so disappointed that they have not been re-released again. The only red shade is this one, which doesn't show up completely red on me. Bear in mind how you may see it on, for example, Huda Beauty herself. She's got a different skin tone to me. She's got a different lip color to me as well. So it looks beautifully red on her, but on me it shows up more orangey red, so I was a little bit disappointed. That's not to say that the quality is not good. The quality is absolutely excellent, great quality. I was just a bit disappointed in terms of the shade. So that's a little review about all the ones that I bought. Now I'm going to quickly swatch some of the originals next to the newer ones just so that you guys can see in terms of a comparison. So here is the brand new Famous, and that is the original. Exactly the same color, but the texture is definitely different. The top one is a lot thicker and a little more bits and pieces, and this one is a lot smoother and much better quality. Okay, so here is the difference between Drama Mama, which is on the bottom, and Spice Girl. You can see they're very different in terms of the kind of brown they are. Spice Girl's always been like a very gorgeous kind of milky brown shade, whereas Drama Mama is definitely more of a true brown shade. Okay, here we've got Miss America. This is Heartbreaker and this is Cheerleader. Here you can definitely see the difference between the three reds. You can see this one is definitely more of an orangey red, whereas Heartbreaker, which is definitely my favourite, is a bright true red. And then this one here, which is Cheerleader, is more of a muted kind of red. This is Trophy Wife. So this is the new one. That's the original. That is a very obvious difference, you guys. Why? I thought that they're supposed to be ditto copies. That's the whole reason why they kept the name. You can really see that this is definitely more of a raspberry pink, whereas this one was always more of a mauvey pink. And I've always loved this shade. Oh, Huda, why? Right, my hands are starting to suffer, so I've doubled up my swatches. This is the original Icon. This is the new one. You guys, those are two different colours. I even just showed my dad in case it was just me being weird. And he was like, those are two different colours. And this is the new Trendsetter, and this is the original one. Similar-ish, but I would still say that the older one is a little bit darker. That's drying still, but the rest of these have all dried. You guys, I thought that they're supposed to be the same shades because it's the same name, right? But they're all different. Okay, so to round up my review, I don't know what to say about those lipsticks which are supposed to be the same colour but clearly aren't. I think there's going to be quite a few people that are going to be buying their favourite shade like I did, under the assumption that it's exactly the same shade, but clearly it isn't. Now, Famous is a ditto copy, as I showed you guys. Trophy Wife 100% is not. Neither is Icon, my two favourites it had to be. Trendsetter, close enough. Now, I normally like to give marks out of 10, but clearly they all perform very differently. So I'm going to give you individual marks. So Famous, 10 out of 10. Drama Mama, 10 out of 10. Miss America, 10 out of 10. Slaytina, 8 out of 10. Icon, 10 out of 10. Trophy Wife, 10 out of 10. Baby Doll, 5 out of 10. Trendsetter, 9 out of 10. So those are my honest opinions based on using all of these lipsticks and how they perform and how they work against my skin tone, my skin type, my lips, etc. So that's it for my review of the brand new Huda Beauty liquid lipsticks. Let me know what your thoughts are. Have you tried any of them yet? Have you noticed any difference? But I'm not gonna lie, still love them. I still think they're great. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.